Welcome to this edition of Safety First. I'm your host, Tim Kelly, joined today by Lieutenant Lance Cowis with the Suffolk Police Department to talk about holiday safety. And this can go in a lot of different directions because there's a lot of things at this time of year we all need to be thinking of and be a little more aware of, just given the nature of kind of what's going on. So, Lieutenant, thanks for being with us today.
Yes, sir. Happy to be here.
And, you know, the holiday season, everybody's, hopefully it's joyous and everybody's having a good time. And, in some instances there's gift giving and things like that. But the thing is, it also brings, unfortunately, sometimes I use the phrase a criminal element into it because people take advantage of the situation.
Yes, that's correct.
And everybody sort of has their attention all which way, but not really on maybe what they need to be focused on. And personal safety, be it at home, be it while you're shopping, be it at work or whatever instance, I think it's something we'd like to talk about today.
Yes, sir.
And just sort of on a overview perspective, what are some safety tips that you could offer to residents when it comes to the holidays? I mean, be it whether they're away from home, be it they're out shopping or whatever, just things that you might offer in general sense.
Well, I guess starting out on the side of shopping, it's best to shop with a friend when possible.
Mm-hmm.
Shop early during the day. Nighttime brings out another side of that criminal element that you have to worry about. There's always safety in numbers. So anytime that you can shop with a friend, shop with a friend. Be aware of your surroundings.
Mm-hmm.
Pay attention to the environment, to the people that may be in the parking lot with you, watching, looking for victims, unfortunately.
Right.
Try using cash when possible.
Mm-hmm.
Minimize the amount of things that you carry. If you carry a pocketbook, put it under your arm instead of over your shoulder.
Right.
Once you make it to your car, packages in the trunk. Don't set yourself up to be a victim by seeing things inside of your vehicle.
Right.
And when you go to leave the business, get your car keys ready first. Before you even leave the store, have your car keys in your hand so you can get into your vehicle quicker, especially with all the automatic starters and door locks that we have now in place. So it makes it a lot easier. It's a lot safer for our citizens.
Now, when you approach your car it's nighttime, and certainly most places of shopping are going to have some kind of outside lighting. Is there anything you need to be aware of around your vehicle itself? I mean, you're not really looking underneath the car, but you hear stories sometimes about people coming in from all different angles.
Yes, you really should approach your vehicle and immediately, almost as soon as you leave the building, if you know where your car's at, start looking throughout the area.
Yeah.
As you approach, get closer, look between cars. The little things, something that wasn't there that wasn't there when you came out that is there now.
Correct.
Things like a suspicious package, something that will distract you, take your attention away from what you're doing.
Got it.
So that somebody can make you a victim essentially. And the other things, does something look different inside of your vehicle? If you had blankets or anything inside your car, they've been moved around now, which may indicate that there somebody have gotten inside of your vehicle and is waiting for you.
Sure.
So just the environment altogether, just take it in. As the closer you get to your vehicle, more you narrow down on your car.
And certainly, with the segment we're talking about today, we don't want to get everybody paranoid, but it's just making that more self-awareness.
Yes.
And I think that's what you've spoken to already about the fact of just being aware of what's going on and be focused on your task in the sense of, know where to put your packages, kind of have the key ready, those kind of things. Very, very simple things.
Yes.
Nothing complicated.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Now, as far as with home package delivery, anything you could offer on that? Because I know gifts are coming here and there, people are ordering things, and unfortunately, sometimes people drive by and walk up and take them off, and you come home and you think it was delivered and it's not there.
So at this time of the year, especially with people going away,
Yeah.
Spending some time away from home, there's a lot of different little safety things that you can do to include how you have your packages delivered. Things like curtains on your house, keep them closed. Keep it well lit around the house. If you're going to have a package delivered, try and have it delivered to your workplace if possible. If you're going to be away from home throughout the day, have it delivered to your workplace. Have it delivered to a friend's house or a relative that may be home at the time instead of actually to your residence.
Correct.
Little things like that people look for. Mail in your mailbox. If you're going to be gone for an extended period of time, don't leave mail in the mailbox. Have the service stopped or your newspaper stopped also. Those are all things that can help. Putting out your trash can. Something as simple as leaving your trash can on the curb for an extended period of time. So just the little things at home that you can do.
Think, right?
Yes,
I mean,
absolutely.
It's very basic stuff. As far as, I know one of the other things with our holiday seasons, typically drinking and driving is something certainly we never want to have happen, but around the holidays, sometimes we see an increase or uptick in that. Any tips you would offer to people who are out and about at a party maybe? Certainly designated driver, we've heard that phrase for a number of years, but I know that's a key thing, but any other things to think about when you're talking about drinking and driving and being aware of really thinking before you start that car?
So for the city of Suffolk, We actively, aggressively pursue drunk drivers. It's something that we take very serious here.
Yes.
It can affect any of us at any point in time. We may not even be the person who's drinking, and our lives can still be affected by that, impacted in some way. So we pursue it throughout the year aggressively. However, at this time of the year, our awareness is a little more heightened. We have holiday parties, things that are going on, and frankly, a lot of times during the holidays, it's a little more difficult for some folks, and you deal with other issues of depression and things like that. So
Correct.
alcohol consumption tends to increase at this time of the year.
Right.
So I would recommend that if you believe that you may have had too much to drink, then you probably have. Reach out to a friend. If you're going to be going to Christmas parties, doing anything, going out for dinner with friends, designate a driver. It's very simple to do. One person in the group that just isn't going to drink that night. Show some responsibility in the actions that you take. Consume moderately. You can intermix alcohol and with water in between, something that's going to kind of help fill you up to keep you from drinking too much. Little things like that.
Correct.
And if you see it on the roadway, then call.
Right.
If you see something, say something.
Right.
It's a big push for us.
Sure.
If you believe that you're behind a drunk driver or somebody who's had too much, then call.
Right.
And then, frankly, another issue that we run into this time of the year is the sleep deprivation side of it, which a lot of those indicators are the same as a drunk driver.
Correct.
Those people still need to be gotten off the roadway and make it a little bit safer for everybody. So just be aware.
Right.
And pay attention to your surroundings.
Yeah, certainly you don't want to be in a situation where you saw something, didn't make that call, and then something results in it. I mean, that's
Absolutely.
just something you want to deal with. And for law enforcement personnel, that's your job. That's what y'all are supposed to do and investigate to determine exactly what's going on.
We're in a smaller community that we should look out for each other and take care of each other. And I think being more vigilant is a way to do that. Keep our family safe.
Very good. And you talked about, certainly the police department being more vigilant of yourselves with people doing different things at this time of year. Holiday on the Beat is a program that y'all have had for several years now.
Yes, that's
If you
correct.
could talk about what the program is, and I know a lot about it's about visibility.
Yes,
on
it is.
On y'all's part.
So we have officers that aren't typically doing their normal duties or responsibilities. We have them out there. They're being a little bit more proactive. We reach out throughout the agency and ask officers to step up and do a little bit extra patrols in areas that we wouldn't normally be able to cover.
Sure.
We conduct Holiday on the Beat during peak hours, during the peak shopping hours where we're going to have more people. Businesses are open. We cover areas, banks, bars, businesses, things like that. It's also a good way for officers to get out there with the community, interact a little bit more, show our faces. We hand out holiday flyers to the businesses and to individuals with safety tips and things like that they can use for the holidays. It's a great program. It's almost every day of the week. There's officers out there at different times that are focusing on our areas that has a lot of citizen traffic. Not only our own citizens, but people who come to visit our city from outside.
Correct.
Just to keep everybody safe.
Exactly. I mean, certainly that's the goal, was keeping everybody safe. And I mean, we appreciate the work that the men and women in the department do throughout the year, but certainly at this time of year when you're putting in that extra effort on top of the other things you're doing throughout the year, it's nice to see. And then, like you said, it's a good way to interact with law enforcement in a very comfortable, relaxed atmosphere. Yes. And certainly y'all are there to help, give good information. Talked about the pamphlets you give out, and really just be a presence. I mean, because sometimes it's being visible in that sense that really can help deter things, as well as make people feel more comfortable and know that that people are watching out for them.
And it's a positive experience for everybody, for
course.
the officers and the citizens, that they get a chance to interact like that.
Indeed. And as far as general safety tips, we talk about lock it, don't lose it. It's an easy phrase, and again, that's a year-round thing.
Yes, it is.
And unfortunately, we see from time to time an area will get, we use the word hit, where people are going around trying to see if car doors are unlocked, open it up, and the biggest preventative is just locking the door.
Yes,
right? I mean, it's as simple as
Yes.
that.
Property crimes drive our numbers,
Yeah.
Not only for us, but throughout the entire region.
Sure,
And one
sure.
of the biggest problems is larcenies from vehicles. It's a crime of opportunity, and unfortunately, we're creating that opportunity for the thieves.
Right.
Not locking car doors, leaving valuables in sight, where that even if they don't find an unlocked door, then they may break a window to try and get into it.
Right.
Take valuables inside. Lock your car doors. Take your valuables inside. Motion sensor lights in the front of your house.
Right.
It's amazing now with the new doorbell cameras and
Yeah.
things that are out
Yeah.
there that it really does help us. But most of it is just locking your car doors.
Right. And I say it's funny, and it's really not funny, but it's ironic in the sense that someone will a car door's not unlocked, they open the car door, they get a key to another car, then wind up getting into that car, and
Yes.
you just don't think about the repercussions. And again, it's great that some people think that, certainly we live in a very safe community. We do in Suffolk. We're very lucky in that sense. But at the same time, the fact that people feel, oh, well, it's okay, and whether you live, out a little further away from downtown or in downtown, northern Suffolk, wherever you live and you feel comfortable to do that, that's good that you do in that sense. But at the same time, you're helping yourself and your neighbors by just keeping that car door locked.
Yes.
And like you said, things out of sight.
And oftentimes it's people from outside of our city that are coming into our city that are looking for opportunities.
Correct, right, exactly. And we certainly don't want to give them that opportunity.
Right, absolutely.
And I know it can make for a busy day with police reports, and also the fact that certainly communities, we don't want that to happen to them and them have to deal with the repercussions.
It is a drain on services,
Yeah,
really, that
yes.
could be provided doing other things
Correct.
that takes officers taking reports, processing
Right.
vehicles, things like that. It's definitely a drain on services.
Understand. And certainly we want, like you said, a lot of the numbers that we see are these type of crimes
Yes.
that really drive things up and are very preventable, as we keep saying. I can't stress that enough. And lock it, don't lose it really captures everything right there in a
does.
very simple phrase right there. And I know it's something we emphasize during National Night Out and again throughout the year.
Yes.
And we'd like to encourage everyone to certainly participate and just lock that door when you get a chance.
Please.
And it's for car or for home, for that matter,
Absolutely,
too.
yes,
You know,
yes.
because again, crimes of opportunity that are out there. You know, any other tips in general sense that you might offer, whether it's not to say just related to the holidays, but we're certainly focusing on that with this segment today. Just safety tips that maybe the police department would like to convey to residents and
Like I
business
said
owners?
before, take care of each other.
Yeah.
It's most of the things that go on we can prevent.
Mm-hmm.
We should be looking out for each other and caring for each other.
Right.
And call the police. You know, a lot of people say, well, it's not my problem and I don't want to deal with it,
Right.
but it is. It's all of our problems.
Correct.
And we can't really do this job without the help from the community.
Right.
And I think we have a really good relationship with our citizens, but it's something that we need to continue to build on.
Right. Partnerships are certainly key no matter how you match people up and
Yes.
doing different things.
Absolutely.
So again, Lieutenant, appreciate your time today to talk about holiday safety tips and being safe here in the city of Suffolk. And again, you know, look out for the men and women of the Suffolk Police Department. Certainly they're there to help, provide some information, provide assistance when needed, and certainly serve a role in a multitude of different ways.
Yes, we do.
You don't realize how many times y'all are responding to things in different ways, whether it's animal control or you have unfortunately a crash or property theft like we
Yes.
talked about. So again, appreciate the work that y'all do.
Certainly, thank you.
Thank you. That would do it for this edition of Safety First. I'm your host, Tim Kelly. We'll see you next time.